Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I'm making a video that will show how to make your reborn baby look more realistic when you're doing videos or an outing or even pictures. And this is the second attempt at this video. Um, there's a different way now that the videos are uploading and I haven't quite got the hang of it, so I have to redo the video. I guess that's the short story of it. Anyway, let's get started. Now, here we have Dominique. I painted him some time ago. And as you can see, I have him in a car seat here. And I'm going to have a list here of how to make your baby look more realistic. And I'm going to be demonstrating some things. And I am going to be one-handed, so please bear with me as I show you how to do this or how I do this. So let's get started. You can put them in a car seat. That's number one. Put them in a car seat, a bouncer seat, a bobby pillow, something like that. And also you need to dress them for the appropriate season. Like now it's summertime and it's pretty warm. So I put him in a onesie. And I wouldn't, like take him out or take him out and put him in a hot, full big sweater for winter, because that would tip people off, like, why in the world is she dressing her baby in that hot sweater? So I wouldn't do that. So dress them for the appropriate season. And this is the camouflage method that I call it. And you put different things on them to help camouflage parts of them so that they look more realistic. So the first thing I could do is I could put a little hat on him. There's his little hat. Put a little hat on him. Cover up his head. And then, like, see his right hand here, to me, is not very realistic how it just sticks straight out and splays out like that. So I would put gloves on him. And you just have to bear with me because this part is going to be difficult for me to put his gloves on. So there's one glove. And these aren't, like, you don't have to do these things, or just suggestions. And you can, use these or come up with some of your own. I'm sorry, I'm having the hardest time getting this other glove on. I may have to set the camera down. Oh goodness. All right, so I got his other glove on. There we go. We got his gloves on. Also, you can use a passy to cover up their mouth. And mine is a temporary passy because he doesn't have his, and it's probably not going to stay but for a few seconds. So you see how the passy makes him look more realistic. It's probably, he's going to spit it out because he doesn't have a magnet as tape. But I do not suggest that. I'm just showing you for a purpose. So you could put it down there. Actually, I'll put it down there just like he dropped it, like he did. So you could put a passy in. You could put a hat on. You could put some gloves on them, mittens. And I also suggest, now this blanket I would not normally use because it doesn't fit the season. It's a heavy blanket, but it's all I have right at the moment. So I would, put a little blanket in there with them. It camouflages some of the baby. So I would do that. But I would use a receiving blanket. And also, I forgot to say, he does have straps in this car seat. It's a regular car seat. But the straps are dirty and they got some kind of dirt on them. And so I don't want that to transfer onto him. So that's why I have a blanket behind it. But normally, I would do the same thing that you would do with a regular baby. If you strap them in, if you're in the grocery store, then I would have him strapped in just like you would do with your regular baby. So I would suggest that too. If he's in a car seat, strap him in. The baby's in the car seat, strap them in to make it look more realistic. So we just finished a camouflage method, which was to put hats, mittens, blanket around them. So we did that. And also, if you could use a sleeping baby, if possible, use a sleeping baby. They always look more realistic because their eyes are closed. If you don't have a sleeping baby, there are ways too that you could camouflage that, the open eyes. You could, if you have them in something like this, you could pull the hood down, and not totally cover the baby, but cover them a little bit, their eyes like that. You could use a blanket. I'm not saying cover their face, but you could, you know, like those covers that come over the car seat, but doesn't actually touch the baby's face. You could use one of those if you didn't have a sleeping baby, or if you have, you know, a awake baby, then you can use what you have because they're beautiful babies too. Also, you can use props. Use realistic props. Like he's a little lovey. And normally when we do pictures with our reborn dogs, you know, we position the lovey like perfect and we put him right there like he's holding them. But normally a regular baby will probably not hold it so perfectly. So what I would suggest, if you're going to use this, kind of like just throw it in there, set it in there, something like that. Looks more realistic, where you just throw it in there, kind of lay it in there. So you could use that, and you could also use a prop like a, you know, a bottle, which this is a fake formula bottle. And I would not suggest, you know, to throw the bottle up on the baby because it's heavy, and you would not normally do that with a baby. So I would suggest if you have a car seat or a seat, put it in the end of the car seat because that looks more realistic. Like, you know, if you're shopping or whatever, a mom would, you know, not have the bottle necessarily up on the baby like that. They would have it where they could reach it, you know, at the end of the car seat. So I would leave it there. So that looks pretty realistic. And if you're going to use some props, I wouldn't overload the baby with props. Like, you don't put like 5 props in there because that would just, you know, not be realistic for the baby either. Just put a few little props in there. I would put 2 at the most, probably. Also, I would always handle the baby, the reborn baby, just like you would handle a real baby. You know, support its head, you know, hold it and care for it just like you would a real baby. Because sometimes people are confused. They think that it is a real baby, and they will get upset if they see you flopping the baby around or, you know, not handling it with care. So I would handle it just like you would a real baby when you're picking it up and holding it and different things like that. And I'd say position the baby, you know, in a realistic position. Like right now, he's not in a totally realistic position. He's sitting straight up and down. So what I would do is I would take his head and just turn it a little bit to the side. It looks a little bit more realistic. Another thing that I would say is to you know, not make the baby look, and his props and things, not make it look so perfect, because that's how we want it for pictures and stuff, but that's not, as we know, how real babies actually are. I mean, real babies are moving around, you know, they're messing up their stuff. So what I would do to demonstrate that is I wouldn't put his hat on perfect, like here, or kind of be perfectly positioned. I wouldn't do that. I would, you know, make it a little catty corner or a little bit up on one side, because that's how a baby would really look. They'd be moving around and moving that hat around. So I would kind of, you know, have it one side higher than the other or something like that. So it's not totally perfect, because, you know, babies aren't, you know, don't just sit there like our reborn babies do. They move. So that would be one of the last suggestions I would have, is to, you know, make the props don't look so picture perfect. I guess how I would explain it. How a real baby would be moving, so kind of move the props around a little bit, just like a real baby would. And I think that's all the suggestions I had. You can also, you know, work with your baby and think of ways that, you know, just the main thing advice I could give you is just think about a real baby, how a real baby moves around, and maybe if you've had children of your own or babysit, um, think about, you know, how it is with real babies, and you can position them and move them the way, you know, their props the way you can remember that babies move, so it's more realistic. And I hope y'all having a great day. My mold is on its way. It's out for delivery today, and I'm thankful for that. It's a day late, but I'm thankful that it is coming, so I can be excited and I can deal with that even if it's a little bit late. And Dominique here says he's happy to see y'all. He's happy you came to see his video today. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day and a blessed day. And I will be back hopefully later today or tomorrow showing the mold I got to make a silicone doll, and it's going to be a preemie girl, 13 inches, and I will be able to pour the silicone into there and make silicone babies, and they will definitely be for sale. I'm going to be selling some of those. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you're blessed, and I think about y'all often. And I have gotten, since I've done the last video, I have gotten a lot of painting done on the Reborn doll giveaway for the vinyl kit. So I'll be hopefully coming back in the next week or so with another video, and she will be almost finished painting. But I just wanted to give you a little bit different video today, and I hope this uploads and I don't have to do it again, because I'm getting used to YouTube is starting to require you to upload your videos differently. So hoping I'm catching on to that. And I appreciate y'all. I will see you soon. Stay safe and stay blessed.